Let's end this with something that might sting a little. If a woman pushes you away when she wants you most, it's not because she's crazy. It's because she doesn't fully trust that you can handle her emotions, her fears, and her depth. That's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes it's not about her confusion. It's about your inconsistency, your mixed signals, your emotional immaturity, your need for validation, your fear of stepping up. When she feels more emotionally aware than you, she pulls back. Not because she doesn't want you, but because she doesn't feel safe wanting you. That's controversial, I know. But here's the empowering part. When you become grounded, emotionally steady, and clear about your intentions, that pushing away behavior decreases dramatically. Women test strength, not muscles, not money, emotional strength, leadership, stability. And if you're honest, you've probably seen this pattern before. So now I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a woman pulling away right when things were getting intense? Did you react with frustration or did you stay calm and grounded? What happened next? Drop your experiences in the comments. I read them. I respond. I want to build real conversations here, not just talk at you. We grow by sharing real stories, because at the end of the day, understanding female psychology isn't about winning. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't get shaken when emotions get complicated, and that's where real attraction lives. 1. She is afraid of losing control. Let's talk about the first reason a woman pushes you away when she wants you the most. She feels herself losing emotional control. Men are taught to move toward what they want. Women are often taught to protect themselves from what could hurt them. So when her feelings start getting strong, when she starts thinking about you more, missing you more, imagining a future, something shifts inside her. She feels vulnerable. And vulnerability feels dangerous. When a woman begins to care deeply, she realizes you now have the power to disappoint her, reject her, or walk away. That awareness can be terrifying, especially if she has been hurt before. So instead of leaning in, she instinctively pulls back, not because she wants distance, but because she wants safety. Here's what most men get wrong. They think her pulling back means she's losing interest. So they panic. They double text. They demand reassurance. They accuse her of playing games. And that reaction confirms her fear that her emotions are now out of control and the situation is unstable. But what's really happening? She is trying to regain balance. When she slows down communication, cancels a plan, or becomes slightly colder, she is often testing herself more than she is testing you. She is asking internally, am I too invested? Am I moving too fast? Is he solid enough? And here's the part you need to understand. If you stay calm, steady, and emotionally grounded, you pass this moment without even trying. Imagine this. You've been seeing a woman for a few weeks. The connection is strong. She laughs easily. She texts first. Then suddenly she takes longer to reply. She seems distant for a few days. Most men feel threatened and start chasing harder, but the man who understands this psychology does something different. He stays consistent. He doesn't withdraw in anger. He doesn't beg for reassurance. He gives her space while maintaining his energy and focus. He shows through his behavior that he is not shaken. And what happens? Her emotional panic settles. She sees that he isn't desperate. He isn't reactive. He isn't trying to control her feelings. That stability makes her feel safe enough to lean back in. Control is powerful to her. When she feels she's losing it, she steps back. When she feels safe again, she returns. Your job isn't to chase. It's to remain centered. That's the difference between a man who gets pushed away permanently and a man she comes back to willingly. 2. She tests your emotional strength. Let's get into something most men don't want to hear. Sometimes when a woman pulls away, she is watching how you handle it. Not because she enjoys games, but because she needs to know how emotionally strong you are. Attraction is not just about chemistry, it's about security. A woman wants to feel that the man she's investing in can handle pressure, can handle uncertainty, can handle her moods without collapsing. When her feelings grow stronger, the stakes get higher for her. And subconsciously, she starts observing you more closely. If she becomes slightly distant, does your confidence disappear? If she doesn't reply for a few hours, do you spiral? If she seems unsure, Do you become needy or defensive? These moments reveal more about you than the good times ever will. Many men think love is built only during romantic highs, but deep attraction is built during emotional tension. When she pulls back, she creates a small gap. That gap shows her who you really are. Do you stay grounded or do you panic? Here's what you need to understand. Women are extremely sensitive to emotional shifts. She can feel when your energy changes. She can sense when you're overthinking. She can detect when your confidence becomes performance instead of authenticity. And once she feels that instability, her attraction drops. Not because she doesn't care, but because she no longer feels secure. You've probably been there before. Everything is flowing well. Then she becomes a little quieter, a little less expressive, and suddenly your mind starts racing. You check your phone more often. You reread old messages. You analyze every word. That internal shift changes your behavior. Even if you try to hide it, she feels it. Emotional strength isn't about being cold. It's about being steady. It's the ability to say internally, I'm good either way. That mindset changes everything. When she senses that you enjoy her but don't depend on her for validation, she relaxes. The pressure disappears, and ironically, she leans back in. A woman pushing you away during moments of strong attraction is often her way of asking one silent question. Are you solid? If you answer that question with calm energy, patience, and self-control, you rise in her eyes. If you answer with fear and neediness, you confirm her doubts. This is why emotional discipline is more powerful than charm. Charm attracts her. Stability keeps her. And when she sees that you don't crumble under emotional pressure, she feels safer wanting you even more. 3. She doesn't trust her own feelings. Now let's talk about something that confuses a lot of men. Sometimes when a woman pushes you away, it's not about you at all. It's about her not trusting her own emotions. When her feelings become intense, it can feel overwhelming. One day she feels sure. The next day she questions everything, not because you changed, but because strong emotions can make her feel exposed. Women often analyze their feelings deeply. They replay conversations. They question their attraction. They ask themselves if they are thinking clearly or just caught in the moment. So when her connection to you starts growing fast, a part of her becomes cautious. She slows down. She pulls back. She creates space to think. From your perspective, it feels like mixed signals. From her perspective, it feels like self-protection. She may wonder, why do I like him this much? Is this real or just excitement? Am I ignoring red flags? Even if there are no real red flags, her mind still wants reassurance. And instead of asking you directly, she creates distance to observe how she feels without you constantly in front of her. You've probably noticed this pattern. Things feel intense. She's affectionate. She's engaged. Then suddenly, she needs space. Most men take that personally. They assume they did something wrong. But many times, she is just trying to understand her own heart. Strong attraction can feel risky. It means she could get hurt. It means she could lose control. It means she might care more than she planned to. So she steps back to see if her feelings stay strong without constant interaction. If they fade, she tells herself it wasn't serious. If they grow, she slowly returns with more certainty. Here's where men make mistakes. When she creates that space, they pressure her for answers. They demand clarity immediately. They try to force reassurance. That pressure makes her feel even more unsure. Because now she feels responsible for calming your anxiety while still sorting out her own. The stronger move is patience. Let her process. Let her think. Let her feel the absence slightly. If the connection is real, her emotions will settle and become clearer. If they aren't, chasing won't fix it anyway. Understanding this saves you energy. Not every pullback is rejection. Sometimes it's reflection. And when she comes back after reflecting, her interest is often deeper and more stable than before. Confidence in these moments separates reactive men from mature ones. The mature man knows that emotions need room to breathe. And when you allow that breathing space without panic, you increase the chances that she chooses you with a clear mind instead of a confused one. 4. She wants to see if you value yourself. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes a woman pushes you away when she wants you most because she's watching one thing very closely: how much you value yourself. This is where many men lose their position without realizing it. When her feelings grow, she starts asking herself a serious question. Is this man secure in who he is? Or does he need me to feel worthy? That question changes everything. Attraction isn't just about how much you like her. It's about whether she feels she's choosing a man who already feels complete. When she pulls back slightly, she creates pressure. That pressure reveals your relationship with yourself. If she cancels plans, do you fall apart? If she becomes less affectionate for a few days, do you overcompensate? If she doesn't validate you the way she did before, do you start chasing approval? These reactions communicate something powerful, and not in a good way. A woman is deeply attracted to a man who enjoys her but doesn't depend on her. When she senses that your confidence drops the moment her attention drops, it shifts the dynamic. Now she feels like the emotional leader, and that can quietly reduce attraction. You've probably felt this before. When things are smooth, you're relaxed. You joke. You lead conversations easily. But the moment she becomes distant, your energy changes. You try harder. You text more. You become overly available. You may even start proving yourself. That shift tells her that your self-worth is connected to her behavior. And that's heavy. Women want connection. They don't want to carry your emotional stability. When she pushes you away, she's often testing something simple. Will he stay solid without my constant reassurance? A man who values himself keeps his rhythm. He doesn't punish her with coldness. He doesn't beg for closeness. He continues living his life. He keeps his schedule. He stays productive. He responds. He doesn't react. That calm self-respect is magnetic. It tells her, I like you, but I don't lose myself. And when she sees that you won't abandon your standards or your peace just because she created distance, her respect increases. This is the part many men misunderstand. Pulling away is not always manipulation. Sometimes it's observation. She is observing whether you shrink under pressure or stand tall. When you remain grounded, you silently communicate strength. And strength, not desperation, is what makes her feel safe enough to come closer again. 5. She is scared of being hurt. Let's address one of the most human reasons a woman pushes you away when she wants you the most. She is afraid of getting hurt. This isn't manipulation, it isn't drama, it's fear. When her feelings start becoming real, not casual, not surface level, but real, she becomes aware of the risk. The more she cares, the more she has to lose. If she has been disappointed before, betrayed before, or abandoned before, those memories don't just disappear. They sit quietly in the background. And when something starts to feel meaningful again, those memories get louder. You might notice it happens right when things are going well. The connection feels deeper. She opens up more. She laughs more freely. She shares personal stories. And then suddenly she slows down. She becomes cautious. She pulls back emotionally. From the outside, it feels confusing. From the inside, she is trying to protect her heart. Strong attraction creates emotional exposure. And exposure feels dangerous when you've experienced pain. Instead of risking another deep disappointment, some women create distance first. It's a defense mechanism. If she pulls away early, she feels like she stays in control of the outcome. Here's something important for you to understand. Fear often looks like disinterest, but they are not the same. When she becomes quieter or less expressive, it doesn't always mean she stopped caring. Sometimes it means she started caring too much. Imagine this. You've been consistent, kind, and emotionally present. She begins to trust you. She shares something vulnerable about her past. A few days later, she becomes less responsive. Not rude, just guarded. Instead of reacting with frustration, you remain steady. You don't accuse her of playing games. You don't pressure her to explain herself immediately. You continue being calm and respectful. That response does something powerful. It shows her that closeness with you does not automatically lead to chaos or pressure. Over time, that calm consistency softens her fear. She starts to feel that maybe this connection is different. Maybe she doesn't have to protect herself as aggressively. But here's the key. You cannot force someone to drop their guard. You can only create an environment where it feels safe to do so. Patience becomes strength here. Understanding becomes power. When you stop taking every pullback personally and start recognizing fear behind it, your reactions change. And when your reactions change, the dynamic changes. Sometimes she pushes you away not because she wants distance, but because she's terrified of how much she actually wants to stay. 6. She wants to feel chosen, not chased. Now let's talk about a dynamic most men completely misunderstand. Sometimes a woman pushes you away when she wants you most because she needs to feel chosen, not chased. There's a big difference. When attraction grows, she wants to feel that you genuinely see her. Not just her looks, not just the attention she gives you, but her specifically. At the same time, if you start chasing too hard, texting constantly, over-prioritizing her, or dropping everything for her, the energy shifts. It stops feeling like desire and starts feeling like dependency. And dependency creates pressure. Women are very sensitive to pressure, even subtle pressure. If she feels like you need her response, need her validation, or need the relationship to work, it can make her step back. Not because she doesn't care, but because now she feels responsible for your emotional state. That's heavy. You've probably felt this shift before. In the beginning, you're relaxed. You enjoy the connection. But when you realize you really like her, you unconsciously tighten your grip. You text faster. You analyze more. You try to secure the connection. She feels that change. And when she feels that she's being chased instead of chosen, something inside her resists. Being chosen feels calm and intentional. Being chased feels urgent and pressured. When she pulls back, she may be trying to reset that dynamic. She wants to see if you still value her without losing your center. She wants to feel that you're with her because you desire her, not because you're afraid to lose her. That's powerful. There's also another layer. When you chase too hard, you remove mystery and challenge. Human psychology values what feels earned, not handed over too easily. If she senses that no matter what she does, you'll always overextend yourself, the excitement fades. Not because she's cruel, but because attraction needs balance. When she pushes you away slightly, she's often restoring that balance. She's creating space to see if you maintain your confidence or collapse into over-pursuit. The man who understands this doesn't swing to the other extreme. He doesn't become cold or manipulative. He simply stays grounded. He gives effort, but he doesn't overgive. He shows interest, but he doesn't beg for attention. That steady energy makes her feel wanted without feeling suffocated. And when she feels that she is being chosen by a strong, centered man, not chased by an anxious one, she relaxes. The pushing away decreases. The connection deepens. Because now the dynamic feels equal, not pressured. 7. You force intensity too fast. Now let's be honest. Sometimes she pushes you away when she wants you most, because you move too fast. And this is where I'm going to challenge you a little. Many men say they want something real, but when they feel a strong connection, they rush it. They push for constant communication. They want labels too soon. They talk about the future before the present is even stable. It feels romantic to you. To her, it can feel overwhelming. Intensity is not the same as depth. You can have powerful chemistry and still destroy it by trying to lock it down too quickly. When a woman starts developing real feelings, she needs space to grow into them. If you force the pace, you interrupt that natural growth. You've probably done this before without realizing it. Things are going well. She's warm, she's engaged, she's showing interest, and instead of letting it breathe, you tighten your grip. You want reassurance, you want certainty, you want guarantees. But attraction thrives in gradual buildup, not emotional pressure. When she pulls back in these moments, it's often her way of slowing the train down, not ending it, just slowing it down. But here's the criticism you need to hear. Some of you confuse obsession with leadership. You think being intense proves you care. It doesn't. It often proves you're afraid. Afraid she might leave. Afraid you're not enough. Afraid you'll lose control. And when that fear drives your behavior, she feels it. Women are extremely intuitive about emotional energy. If your actions are coming from fear instead of confidence, she senses the imbalance, and imbalance makes her step away. A grounded man understands pacing. He doesn't rush emotional milestones. He allows connection to unfold. He enjoys the process instead of trying to secure the outcome immediately. That patience communicates power. Here's the wake-up call. If women consistently pull away from you at the peak of connection, look at your pacing. Look at your need for reassurance. Look at how quickly you try to define everything. You might be suffocating something that needed space. Slow down. Lead with calm confidence. Let her feelings rise at their own speed. Because when a woman feels that you are steady, patient, and not trying to force the future, she feels safe to step forward willingly. And that willingness is far more powerful than anything you could pressure her into. Let's close this in a way most people won't say out loud. If a woman pushes you away when she wants you most, it's often not because she's confused. It's because she's reacting to your emotional instability. That's the controversial truth. Yes, she may have fears. Yes, she may have past wounds. Yes, she may test, hesitate, or overthink. But the constant factor in whether she comes closer or walks away is you. Your reactions, your confidence, your pacing, your self-control. When you panic, chase, demand reassurance, or rush intensity, you amplify her doubts. When you stay grounded, patient, and emotionally solid, you calm them. Attraction doesn't survive on pressure. It survives on strength and stability. And here's the part most men ignore. If you become the kind of man who doesn't crumble the moment a woman pulls back, you instantly separate yourself from the majority. Most men react. Very few remain centered. So when she creates distance, it's not the moment to prove your love. It's the moment to prove your composure. That's what builds long-term respect. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced this? Did she pull away right when things felt strongest? How did you respond? Be honest in the comments. Share your story. I read them. I engage. I reach out. This isn't just a channel, it's a conversation between men who want to level up. And here's the final statement that might challenge you. The woman who pushed you away wasn't testing your love. She was testing your strength. If that hit, sit with it. Then decide who you're going to become next.